Just over a year ago, I did a video called 5 Things Spider-Man 2, where I looked at everything that I think might be coming to the next game that's coming out this year. Today I'm going to look back at what I said the 5 things that I would like to see in the game are, and then compare them to what we saw in the showcase a couple of weeks ago and any other information that we found out since. So let's get into it. So, looking back, the first of my 5 points was I would like to see switching characters between Peter and Miles. We already had switching characters in the first game, where you'd be Peter, you'd then be Miles, and you'd be MJ, but I wanted it so that you could switch whenever in the GTA concept, where you can switch between any of the 3 main characters whenever you wanted. My second point was a optional co-op mode that you could play with your friends. There's 2 characters in the game, so logically this would work, because then one person could play Miles, one person could play Peter. Number 3 was a suit creator. It was using the base designs from the first Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales as a template, and then you'd be able to change the colours and add the designs and mix and match them together. Number 4 was a much bigger map. Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales both had the same size map. So what I wanted most with the new game was a much bigger map. And finally, number 5 was being able to play as Venom in this game. We've known since the original teaser that Venom was going to be the main character, and because Venom's a symbiote, he should at some point stick to one of the characters, and you should be able to play as at least one of the Spider characters as Venom. Maybe not the actual villain as Venom, but... So now that we've looked back at what I said in my original video, we can now see what's accurate and what's not so accurate. So, starting off with the first one, switching characters. We've seen from the footage that that is possible. And they've spoken about it as well. You're going to be able to switch as Miles and Peter whenever you want, and during story-based stuff, you're going to be switching halfway through missions and stuff by a press of a button. So the first thing I wanted in the game has been added to the game, and obviously that's a great start. And next was having co-op in the game. We now know that this isn't going to be put in the game. Someone put a tweet to Insomniac Games, and Insomniac replied saying, no, it's a fully single-player adventure, no co-op is going to be in the game. So, that's closed. Maybe in the future we could get a cool co-op Spider-Man game, but I understand why it's not in the game. The first 2 games were perfect as single-player games. Why mess with the formula? So, the third point was a suit creator. Now, I've just replayed the original Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales in preparation for the new game coming out. And honestly, I remembered that I don't actually care much about the suits. Every time I unlocked a new suit, it was cool to see what they were, but most of the time I would just play as the default suit that you're meant to be playing as. So, suit creator, I don't think it's going to be in the game anymore. I don't think anything's been said about it either, so I'm just going to leave it as a nothing now, and move on. Number 4 was a larger map, and thankfully this is something that we're getting in the game. It's been confirmed that the map for Spider-Man 2 is about 2 times the size of the original one, I think, and has added Queens and Brooklyn to the game. Obviously these are more residential areas compared to Manhattan, so there's not going to be skyscrapers everywhere. It's going to feel very different, but I love that this is being added to the game. This is something I was hoping would have been added for Miles Morales, but I understand why it wasn't, because if I'm right here, I think Miles Morales was meant to be a DLC that then got changed over for a launch game for PS5. But yeah, that's 2 out of 4 correct now. And last of all was being able to play as Venom in the new game. I don't think we're going to be playing as the villain Venom, but obviously from the footage we've seen that the symbiote does attach to Peter. That's as far as we know so far. We do also know that Peter and Miles will go up against Venom at some point from the original teaser footage that got released, but this new footage from the showcase has shown Peter wearing it and being affected. His attitude has changed, and Miles had noticed it. So I'm loving the new suit. I can't wait to be able to play this, and it's just going to be so good. Right, so that was the after a year review of Spider-Man 2 5 Things. I think 3 out of the 5 things is pretty decent to get right. Obviously, the suit creator was far out there anyway, and that's why I've even changed my mind on it. So I say 3 out of the 4 things. I'm not even going to bother changing the suit creator to a different option. The game's a few months away. There's no point. I'll keep it as the 5, but pretend it's 4. But co-op is the only one properly that I got wrong that we know of. But also because the suit creator, nothing's been announced about it. We don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm just assuming it's going to be wrong. But because co-op is the only one of the 5 things that I've got wrong, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, I could have done a lot worse. Every single one could have been wrong. But at the same time, I guess I did play my 5 things pretty safe. I didn't go too far out there with what I wanted. I was very happy with the first 2 games, so not much needed to change in my opinion. Alright, thanks for watching. See you later.